All right, and let's see. If we didn't know each, what makes you amazing?
I bring joy to people's lives, and I help them to reconnect with back to their true authentic self, and realign them back to their soul's mission, their soul's purpose, on why they're really here on this planet. And so we all have a story, and everyone's got, lots of different stories from their past, but it's about looking at what did I learn from that story. And because things happen for you, not to you, so it's looking at, okay, I had this experience, but what did I learn from it? And that's why we're here in these physical bodies, to experience what it's like to be a human and have all these emotions and go through all these experiences, because it's an opportunity for our soul to learn and grow. So
Absolutely.
I help people to see things from a different perspective, and this sounds cliche, but always look on the bright side of life. Because we're here to enjoy this playground that we call Earth. And what you put out, you are attracting back. So if you're walking around miserable, you're going to attract more misery, and attract more things that you don't want in your life.
Absolutely. Love that. All right,
Mm,
I'm ready to go. Beautiful. So start recording and I'll press record.
go.
Greetings, everyone. This is Payman Lorenzo, your host of the Lead Wealth Podcast. I believe this is episode 320. And today I have a treat for you. I have my new wonderful friend from Australia, Linda Joy Benn. We
Mm.
connected about, 2, 3 weeks ago from my favorite community online, the Serving Circle. We had a chat, beautiful chat. After that, and wow, we connected right away. And I knew from the get-go that I had to bring her on the show because she's been blessed with a phenomenal story. Quite a few stories, actually. Beautiful gift. She's a gift herself. And yeah, I'm very delighted to have her. A little bit about her. She's based in Brisbane, Australia. And she's got an incredible story because she was diagnosed back in 1990 with cervical cancer, stage 2 going on stage 3. And here she is 34 years later, still here, smiling and, you know, alive and kicking butt more than ever. And with a passion for life, with a lot of, energy and beautiful vision and all that. And yeah, she's what she does is very beautiful. She helps people see things from a different perspective because, as she said beautifully, we are here to enjoy this playground we call Earth. And another thing she does, which is wonderful, is she brings joy to people's lives and help them reconnect back to their true, authentic selves and help them realign with their soul purpose as to why they're here on this planet, in this lifetime, in this world. And because we all have a story, as she says, and that's something that I'm very passionate because for me, it's all about the story, the gift, sharing your gifts to whatever means is the most convenient for you. And that's what she does because again, it's helping people reconnect, realign with the true self so they can take the stories and share them with not only learn from them and ask themselves, what did I learn from this? And then, because as she says, nothing happens to you, but for you, for your own highest, best interest, so you can grow, become wiser and better, and then sharing those gifts with others. And that's what she does in a nutshell. And she does it through intuitive power, intuitive gift and power to empower people to heal their own body and disease. And she had a rough ride at times because she had to overcome abuse, health issues, as I said, cancer, and she hit rock bottom when she, as she said, she lost the appetite, desire to live, but somehow and thankfully she was able to overcome that, and now she's here to share those beautiful lessons and inspire, empower, and make the world a better place through her gifts, through her wisdom, and everything she learned so far. So I'm very excited to have her, and as I told her, me and you, Linda, we're gonna do more than just one episode because there's so many things we can unpack with you so many gifts you've been blessed with, and I'd be honored to have you on my platform unpack those wonderful gifts. So without any further ado, Linda, my wonderful friend, welcome to the show.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Payman. You are such a blessing to the world, and thank you for having me here. And I feel honored to, yeah, be here with you and sharing with your audience. So thank you. Many blessings. Yes.
Pleasure's all
And what a
mine.
wonderful introduction as well.
Well, I hope so. I was really worried that I would miss something or say something incorrectly, but I'm glad I got it right, you know?
Very good.
Awesome. You know, Linda, I want to start this with borrowing one of your beautiful sentences. I'm not going to ask you, sure, I'm going to ask you, first of all, how are you doing today?
I'm wonderful. Thank you. Yes.
Beautiful, Tia. And now I'm going to use one of your favorite sentences, and I'm starting to use that and implement that as well. In a nutshell, what makes you amazing?
I love that question. I love uplifting and empowering people to see the beauty and the magnificence and the power they have inside of them. Because I know that along our journey of life, there's a lot of things that happen, and we come in born as this happy, joyful, laughing, giggling little baby, and so just nothing bothered us in the world. It's like every day, it's like, goo goo gaga, and life is great. But what happens when we get to adulthood, and why is there so much misery or suffering or struggling or mental health in the world? And so, I mean, my middle name is Joy, and that is
Love
my
that.
whole purpose for being here, is to help bring joy and uplift others to see the joy within them. Because when they can connect to that joy within themselves, then their energy vibration lifts, and then they can walk around feeling elevated. And this brings happiness and love for yourself, and nurturing, and then you uplift others around you, and sometimes you don't have to say anything. You just walk into a room and smile. And if you've got that feeling, that mindset, that feeling of gratitude and feeling blessed inside, then life is good.
Amen. Absolutely beautiful. So, for people who don't know you, tell us beyond the little introduction I gave you. We're going to talk about your business and your impact out there later on. But as a person, as a woman, who's Linda? Sorry, who's Linda Joy?
So, well, the title is this my business title or my
No,
personal
you as a person, as a
me?
human being, as a woman. We're going to talk about your business later on. Yes.
Right, me as a person, I'm a free spirit.
Mm.
I'm adventurous. I love life. I love being out in nature. I love being in the ocean or water.
Oh,
Any water, that's my happy place. And I'm sure I was a mermaid in another life, because when I'm under the water, that's like, oh, just leave me here.
you might still be one.
And well, that's right. And then when I learned astrology, I realized I've got 6 water planets. So
Oh,
that's why I'm really connected to water, and love swimming, love being by the beach, in the ocean, well, I was brought up on a boating family. So every
nice.
year my dad would take us out to the islands and reefs, and plus my granddad also took us out to different islands, and So yeah, very blessed in that regards to have the Great Barrier Reef at my fingertips. And
Wow.
though back then you kind of take it for granted, and it was go, oh, do we have to go the Whitsunday Passage again? Like, we've done all those islands
Again.
again. Like,
Can we
yeah.
do something else less boring? Yeah, sure. You ungrateful brat.
But it was very adventurous, and yeah, we did lots of water sports and tobogganing and diving and snorkeling and all the reefs, and it was very beautiful. So I'm very
What's your
blessed.
sign?
It's Taurus,
Ah,
so I'm an
okay.
earth sign. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Cool. All right. So first of all, I'd like to start asking you a series of rapid fire questions to further get to know you as a person. Ready?
Okay. Let's go.
What, cool. What makes you happy?
Oh, simplicity. It can
Mm.
be music. It can be just listening to the birds outside. It can be just sitting and having a cup of
Oh, the waves.
tea. Or if I'm at the beach, just walking along the beach, or going for a swim, or being outdoors, or, just simplicity.
Mm.
That's what makes me happy. That's what brings me joy. Or putting on music, hearing a song, and it's like, it's
Yeah. Beautiful.
so
What makes you smile?
being alive,
Mm.
and feeling blessed and grateful. Yes,
Indeed.
for
Indeed.
everything around me. Yes.
Indeed. That's one thing that I've learned to appreciate more and more, and that is the feeling of gratefulness. I start my day and I end my day, and throughout the day, I just count my blessings.
Yes.
Even the smallest thing, like thank you for having clean air in my body. Thank you for having a powerful muscles, powerful body. Thank you for all the opportunity that I have. Thank you for the lovely people around me. Just, and it puts you in a different state. It gives
Yes.
me goosebumps when I think about it. And when you put this stuff in that way, you attract more and more of it.
Exactly. And knowing that we're all connected, but we're all connected to source energy and spirit, or the universe, or whatever word you want to use, just wants the best for us. So it's like we are plugged in to this infinite source of
Mhm.
energy and love and light that's unconditional, that's unlimited, that's just amazing. So we are all blessed on this planet. And that's one of the things that I love, just empowering people to tap into that. And that will elevate their energy and vibration on a daily basis.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Now let's take the happiness factor a couple of notches higher. What makes your heart sing? What makes your soul set on fire?
Oh, I love sharing with others. Like, I love the work that I do. Love my group facilitation, when I'm teaching a workshop, when I'm speaking in front of a group, when I'm sharing my passion, when I'm teaching something, because that's my purpose. And I love, 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 love that. Or it can be just one-on-one coaching. And I still get very passionate, because it's like I can see the other person's potential and see their true essence, and I want that for them. So yeah, but that makes my heart sing. And just being outside in nature, I mean, like, enjoying
Indeed.
nature, it's just so beautiful. And this is what I say to people. Yes, there is a lot of dense energy on this planet, but God gave us flowers to brighten it up. So
Love
just
that.
looking at a beautiful, like a bush or flowers or a garden, or and just appreciating that and noticing that and just seeing the beauty around us, because there is so much beauty.
Beautiful. Love that. Love that. I can listen to you talk like this for hours. Music to my ears. Beautiful. Awesome. Now, on the other side of the spectrum, what makes you sad and angry?
Corruption, deceit,
Mm.
lies, deception, dishonesty, cruelty to animals and cruelty
Oh,
to
yes.
people, and just watching human behavior in the nastiest form,
Mm.
and inflicting pain on other people. And we're going dark now. And yeah, the other thing that really upsets me is the child trafficking, the sex
Oh, yes.
trafficking, the just that whole world that is now all exposed and more people are aware of. That really upsets me.
Absolutely. I'm totally with you on that one. Yes, yes.
Mm.
Now, what scares you other than spiders?
Spiders don't scare me, actually.
Okay.
uh Actually, I was in the car, and this daddy long legs spider, it's just a little spider, was on my windshield. And I went, oh, hello. And then it was like he just climbed along my ceiling of my car. And I went, okay, enjoy your day.
How can I help you, mate?
So, yeah, hope you find something to eat, because I don't know what's in the car. Like, oh,
Beautiful, beautiful. Now, since we're both laughing, let me ask you this. When was the last time that you had a very, very, very deep, strong, powerful laugh, the type that makes your cheeks hurt, makes you almost cry of joy, and it gives you stomach because you're laughing so hard?
I was in Hawaii with this friend, and we were there for a holiday slash and attending this workshop on Maui. Though she had me in fits of laughter. I was like the dead cockroach on the floor, and I was in pain. I was laughing so much, and I just went, stop. So, and she just kept going, and I just doubled over, and I just couldn't stop laughing. And that was such a good belly laugh. It was just, and I still, yeah, I feel that still today. And,
Yeah, sorry,
yeah.
go ahead.
Oh, it's just going to, well, and here's the sad part. She's no longer with us in
God
physical
bless
form.
yourself.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
One thing that I heard, and it makes so much sense about laughing and smiling, is that if every doctor in the world were to prescribe 1 hour of mandatory laughing and smiling to every person on the planet, within 30 days, 95% of all ailments would be gone. Why? Because 95% of ailments are due because of stress. And when you laugh,
Yes.
even 1 hour a day, that makes your body toxic for disease.
Yep. That's right. Increases all the endorphins and oxytocin and love hormones, and
Yeah.
it just is like a huge rush. That's the accelerated healing process. Just laugh. Put on, like watch funny movies. I mean, this is how people heal themselves of disease.
The first thing that I did to change myself was I went cold turkey. I stopped watching the news, because the news only makes you upset on things you have no control over. And instead, one person told me one time, if something is important, you will know about it. So you don't have to be glued in front of a TV, something that's going to make your blood boil over things you have no control over. So I don't even watch. Sometimes even friends from whatever ask me, hey, do you know what's happening in Canada? I said, I don't know, and I don't give a damn. I don't care. I just When people ask me what COVID is, what COVID, that doesn't exist in my world. You know, I
No,
refuse
that's right.
to participate in that, you know.
Mhm.
When people ask me what's my medical coverage, my medical coverage is 5 sets of 50 push-ups a day plus 10 kilometers a day walking.
Mm.
That's my medical coverage, you know,
That's it.
and eating clean. Exactly.
That's
Start within, yeah.
well, the whole insurance thing, when people I used to get these calls about, trying to sell me life insurance, and they went, well, what if you get really sick? Well, no, that's not part of my story. And well, what if you get hit by a bus? No, that's not going to happen either. And so I wasn't really a complying candidate for their life insurance. But I mean, health insurance, I don't have health insurance because I am the insurance. When
That's
people
it.
have life insurance or whatever, they sometimes feel that they have to get a return on investment and actually go and use that to get some money back and get sick, or use it for nowadays it's more, you can go and get glasses and get, different things, or include it with, healthy options, and include that in your health insurance. But
Yeah.
yeah, but I don't
You
have
know what?
health.
You know what you could tell next time someone tries to sell you life insurance, whatever, say, hey, listen, I beat cancer once. If I beat cancer once, I can beat it again, you know?
Well, it's up to me.
Exactly. And if I beat cancer, I can beat anything, you know? So,
Like,
yeah, beautiful.
yeah,
Awesome. What would you say, Linda, is your number one personal superpower?
is my ability to see things from a different perspective,
Mm,
and to see it from a soul's perspective.
mm,
And what I mean by that is there's the ego mind, or the conscious mind, that wants to look at things factually and logically, and this and that, and these are the consequences. Whereas I see things from the bigger picture, from my soul's perspective, and spirit. What's spirit, and what is the learning? And so when things happen, it's like, okay, what am I to learn from this? And then just move on. It's like, well, thank you for that lesson, and now I'm aware. And especially with different people coming into your life, it's like, now I'm aware of that energy, and next time someone comes in with that same energy, I will recognize it. So thank you for that gift. And especially if they weren't the nicest person, or they were out to try and rip you off, or so we all have these stories and these experiences that happen, and sometimes it's a costly experience, but it's about letting go of the money part of it, and just seeing the blessing that the universe will provide even more money.
absolutely. And that's the most difficult thing that people have to do at times because we're so ingrained in the daily realities. I have bills to pay and all that, or buy a bigger house, bigger car, the latest iPhone. No, you don't have to. Just find your purpose in a different way. You know, for me, things changed the moment that happened as a result of me having my spiritual awakening. Before that, I used to be just like the next guy, all about money, 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 money. But then I was empty. So what is this for? And I had the money, but I didn't have the time. And I was becoming, overweight and all that. So no, I don't want to die of heart attack by the time I'm 45. So I say, you know what? I focus on things that actually matter. I focus on serving, helping, doing good. And when you build your business around inspiring, empowering, doing good, I swear to you, Linda, money takes care of itself. It magically manifests in front of you in ways that, yes, it sounds cheesy. It is cheesy. But when you really do it that way, that you really build everything you do upon and around doing good from a sincere perspective, money literally just falls from the sky.
Exactly, because it is. Money's just an energy, and it's unlimited. And when you're living your passion and just sharing your gifts because you're having fun every day doing what you love doing, then the money just automatically flows because your energy's uplifted. So then the energy called money is just going to flow continuously and effortlessly because you're just living your joy and living your purpose.
And
Doing
this is why
what you're meant
this
to do. Yeah.
this is what we are here for. Find your purpose, find what you makes you come alive so you don't need an alarm clock in the morning. You can get out of it even if you have to put 80 hours a week, you don't mind it. This is how I feel honestly with my podcast, with my academy, with my books. Like this morning, I did the first class of a 5-day challenge I'm launching on helping people out to launch a podcast and get leads to a podcast. We went for 2 hours and I was buzzing the night before. I slept at 2 o'clock, woke up at 6. I'm still buzzing because again, I feel grateful, blessed, honored to be talking, I see that as reconnecting with friends. And this is the most beautiful, beautiful, feeling in the world. When I was on that Zoom this morning, you were there with us,
Yes.
all this smiley face looking at me.
Yeah.
This is something that no amount of money can give you.
Yes.
Even in my height of my corporate career, I never felt this kind of appreciation, respect, or even desire for me to go there to a meeting because, in the corporate world, we all hate meetings because they're useless, they're boring, nothing happens.
Yeah.
But in these kind of calls, I can be all day long in this kind of Zoom because it's
uplifting.
it's my soul. Yeah, exactly.
And the energy exchange, you can feel the energy from everyone who is willingly there. A lot of these corporate meetings, they're
You
just
have to be there.
well, and plus they're being paid, and
Yeah.
they're on their calendar, so they have to turn up. And so it's like, yeah, it's part of their
I mean, we would spend a Monday night at 8 o'clock for most people in the US to be on a Zoom call with a guy on the other side of the world, and for free because it uplifts everybody's energy,
yeah.
inspires people, empowers people, and we energize each other in this sometimes negative world.
Well, and this is why it's important for people to actually find your tribe, find your community that enhance your life and surround yourself with those people that really lift you up and leave you feeling positive and uplifted and happy afterwards. And then in contrast, anyone who does the opposite will then look at those relationships and maybe go in a different direction.
Absolutely. You mentioned finding a tribe. This is one of the most important, beautiful, impactful benefits, transformational benefits of podcasting. I've been able to find my tribe, and to my tribe, talk to incredible people like you, like other people, and this to me is magical. Seriously, it is.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Awesome. Tell us now, what is one thing that you used to value that you don't anymore? And by one thing, I don't mean an object. It can be a principle or whatever, or it can be an object to whatever, up to you.
Who are you? Oh, you're putting me on the spot here. Value. Because
When?
my value is freedom. So I'm just thinking, okay, when was my freedom taken away from me? And I'd have to say through lockdown, because I wasn't able to travel. And with all the restrictions, even though I didn't buy into all the fear, though it really, slowed down my life a lot socially, and I'd still go out and walk and keep active as much as I could. Though, that was the contrast of
Mm,
freedom is like one of my number one, you know, up there with integrity. So when during the lockdown and all that time, that's, yeah, that was a big thing that was taken away. Um,
absolutely. Yes.
and because it was, I knew in my heart that it was all based on money, ego, power, and corruption, and there was so much deceit and everything behind it. It was, but I just had to zip it. I couldn't say anything because that was controversial and it wasn't worth my reputation. But the truth's coming to the surface now, and there's so many things all out in the public, and everyone's woken up to the truth. So, yeah,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, let's move forward. You like traveling, right?
I love it. Love it.
All right. We can do an entire episode just on traveling because traveling is my religion, my passion. But I want to take you down a different type of traveling, down memory line. Go back to when you're growing up. You know, when we're kids, people around us, family, relatives, teachers, neighbors always ask us, "Hey, Linda, what do you want to become when you grow up?" What does your answer to this as a little girl?
I knew I wanted to travel. I remember when I was 5 years old and I was outside, and I still have the vision, and I was playing on this rock, and I knew all the words to the song "I'm Leaving on a Jet Plane"
Mm,
by John Denver. Yeah, don't know when I'll be back again. So I knew that there was a whole world out there, and that I was just going to travel around the world and explore. And that's something that I did do, as you know, in my early 20s. And I traveled to about 35 different countries, you know, and
wow.
yeah, over a short time, and I still travel today. So
What
yeah,
has been so far of those 35-year, the highlight so far?
the a lot of people ask me which is your favorite countries, but there's so many favorites. Though the Cliffs of Moher in Ireland is something very
Mm,
memorable for me. I also remember my time in Greece and in on Santorini. Then
oh, yes.
yes, and plus Scandinavia. And I mean, there's so, and plus I've spent a lot of time in the US, and then parts of, you know, like Central America as well, and been in the Panama, and so there's so many different highlights. It's, I just, well, and then well, recently I just came back from Fiji, and
Wow.
so that was, yeah, also beautiful. Everywhere I go, it's, I find the beauty in every environment, every country, and see the beauty in the people as well. And so that's what I love exploring everywhere I go, is meeting new people and experiencing their culture and
Mm,
understanding what makes them tick, and finding out more about them and how they live
mm,
their lives, and the simplicity. You know, a lot of
absolutely.
these country, you know, it's like they're very family orientated. They live in the villages and they live a simple life, and they don't get caught up in all the technology. Or yes, we can't avoid technology, but their life is simple. I remember back when I was 19, going to Bali is like our, you know, backyard. You know, we would just go to Bali for a
You
holiday.
would swim from where you are, yeah.
And so I went to Bali with a girlfriend, and I just noticed how simple their life was and how blessed and grateful they were. They're living in poverty, but they'd put out their incense and their little offerings every day. And I went, that is so beautiful. And most of them are, you know, living in a little hut with the dirt floor, but they're so grateful. So I just really find that
Yeah.
heartwarming, as well as just, oh, what's the word?
Humbling.
Yeah, it is. It's very humbling. Very
And
humbling.
it grounds you to what really matters. You know, for me, yes, these people might seem, so to speak, you know, not poor from a financial materialistic aspect, but they're extremely rich in terms of what really matters, the happiness, the people. You know, I kind of miss the times when, before the internet, before the smartphone, we actually had real meaningful people to people interaction. We actually knew your neighbor. You know,
That's
your neighbor
right.
would come, hey, can I please borrow some salt from you, some rice? Can you please keep my kids for 2 hours? I'm gonna go do something, you know.
Yeah,
My mother left me quite a few times with a neighbor because, hey, she was at work or I was sick and the neighbor would take care of me. Now I don't even know the neighbor. We don't even know the neighbor, you know?
right. Exactly. And this is where we've just, yes, technology has opened up so much communication, but as a human, we're more and more separated from each other. And humans require community and togetherness, and yes, online is fine, but this is why I love running in-person events,
Oh,
to
yes.
bring people together and being in the room with them, where I can give them a hug and actually look in their eyes and feel their energy, instead of, you know, behind a screen. And
Oh, yes.
so that's me. That's why I love to travel, because when I travel, I get to experience their energy in the room and meet
So
people.
what's your next destination?
I've already booked Cobbo in December,
Wow,
and
beautiful.
so yeah, Cobbo St. Lucas. I'll be celebrating a friend's birthday there, and I'll combine it with a US tour again, of work and play. And so
Oh,
that's the next in that's the next trip. But I do have other trips, but that's the one that I've actually blocked.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let me know. Well, let me know when you come to Kuala Lumpur. This is a beautiful city.
Okay. Yes. I haven't been there. So
It's a phenomenal city. Yes, it's beautiful. And yeah,
mm.
awesome. Let's go back to when you were growing up as a kid. What was your relationship with school? Did you love school or did you hate school?
School for me was a bit of a chore. You
Mm,
had to go, and but it was also an escape to get out of the house. And so it was like, okay, I have to, go to school, but it was also quite exciting to, well, who am I going to meet, and who, what school friends, and who's my teacher going to be. So it was more of an adventure and an exploration and learning about others. And so that was, my primary school. I went to the same primary school for the 7 years. And then for my high school, I went to a boarding school for 3 years, and then a state school for the last 2 years. So there was a lot of contrast there, because the boarding school was all girls, private, very strict boarding school. And so that was interesting. And then to go from that to a co-ed state
mm,
school, and it's like, woohoo, freedom. Run them
indeed.
up.
Absolutely. Party time.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that goes without saying. Yes, absolutely.
That's right. Yes.
What was your favorite subject in school?
I like geology, yeah, geography
Mm,
and maths. I was very good at maths and accounting,
mm,
and I loved, yeah, the bookkeeping side of things, and I really enjoyed that. Though I am more of a right brainer, whereas that's more of a left brain skill set.
mhm.
Though I enjoyed the challenge of just balancing stuff and just getting it done, which was one of my jobs when I left school. I worked in a five-star hotel, the Sheraton, here in Brisbane, and I worked in the accounts department first, and then down on the front desk from reception, cashiering, night audit, then night manager, and then duty manager. So that was my first career. But the night audit work, I actually loved it because it was all about balancing the books. And when all these
Mm.
outlets were getting upset, because before they brought it to us, they had to balance it. And if they couldn't, it was like, here, give it to me and I'll find it. And that I really enjoyed because it challenged me. It was stimulating my brain, and I really liked the work. The hours, very unhealthy, but the
Oh, yeah.
actual work I really enjoyed and could do it really quickly, easily, effortlessly, could do it in my sleep. So,
Mm.
yeah. So
So back in school, what was your least favorite subject?
religion.
Was it teaching that in school back then?
Well,
Oh, okay.
in high school, we had a subject, religion, yeah, it was religion studies, and I rebelled. Yeah, I and I didn't know why I was so yeah, I just didn't want to be put into a box. And that's when it's like, if I'm going to pick a religion, I'd rather be a Buddha, and study Buddhism or something that's more universal. And yeah, so that
Less
was,
divisive. Yes.
well, yeah, and that was before I really started on my spiritual path. And so
Mm.
even back at school, I felt this religion separated people because we were all at boarding school, we would be forced to go to church, and we'd all be separated into what's your religion, and then we'd go off in buses to that church. And I just, yeah, that didn't resonate with me.
Was religion like a mandatory subject, or was it like a?
Yeah,
Oh
no,
wow.
it was compulsory. Yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah.
Okay. So
It
imagine
was
that
that
we're.
because it was a boarding school, so it was
Oh, I see.
a
Okay. Okay.
religious type of, well, it was a Christian school, but
Oh yeah,
yeah.
sure.
Mm.
Catholic. Okay, cool. Okay. Imagine that we were in the same class in grade 10, grade 11. What kind of girl were you back then? Were you like the shy type? Were you the nerdy? Were you the life of the party, the chatterbox, the superstar, the athlete? What kind of student and girl were you back then?
I was a bit of a party animal, and
Oh, yes.
out. I was well behaved, but I was very social, and I
Mhm.
loved being out and about and going to parties, and yeah, I was very social, and I had a
Oh,
very full social life every weekend.
awesome. So I guess were you popular with the boys?
lots of, well, I had a boyfriend, but I had lots of male friends because we'd all hang out together.
Yeah.
And so I remember the last 6 months of grade 12, my mum tried to ground me and said, you know, I had to stay home and study for the last 6 months. And whereas my boyfriend at the time lived with another guy, and I nagged her and nagged her, and I said, look, I'll take my little brother and sister with me because their house had a pool to swim in, plus a barbecue, plus a pool
Oh yeah.
table to play, and they had, you know, lots of, and it was fun. And so I nagged her and she went, get out of here. So it was like, cool, okay. So pretty much that was every weekend, because my little brother and sister had so much fun. They went, oh, can we come back next week? And I went, leave it with me. And so I'd take them with me, and yeah, they loved it. Plus, it gave mum a break.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. What was your very first job? And do you remember how much you get paid the first time you worked?
Well, that was at the Sheraton. Well,
Ah,
yeah, straight from school, I got a job at the Sheraton. Originally, I applied as an apprentice chef because I love to cook. And they
oh, nice.
said, well, we've got about 200 applications on the wait list. And I went, no worries, just let me know. But they kept, well, back in those days, it was a report card from school because you didn't have a resume. And so I left my report card with them, and that's when they saw that I did accounting and I did bookkeeping at school, and I did quite well. And so when they called me, they said, we've got a junior position in the accounts department. Are you know, can you come and have an interview? And that's where I started. And I ended up moving up through all those other different positions over the 5 years that I worked there.
Beautiful, beautiful. Awesome. You know, there's a saying that's, let's move on, let's move forward. You know, there's a saying that says, change your story, change your life. And by story, I mean what we tell ourselves in our head all day long. So when you're Linda, you were at some of your darkest, most painful part of your life. How did you change your story internally to change your reality externally?
It was when I first started traveling and met my spiritual teacher, and this is when I was diagnosed with cancer. And at the time, so on the outside, I was very sociable, very happy and joyful, and nothing, you know, when people would see me, they'd think nothing's happening, but
Mm,
I never shared anything. But no one knew how much hurt and sadness I'd pushed down and
mhm,
was suppressing and hiding. And because I didn't talk to anyone about what was happening in my life. I just made out as if everything was all good. So it was when I was diagnosed, and the doctors didn't want me to leave Australia, but I knew that I needed to leave and get out away from my family and
mm,
travel, because that was my goal, my world adventure, to travel around the world and find love and find myself. And that's when I met my spiritual teacher in San Jose, California, and he's the one that helped me to turn my life around. So amazing, gifted man that was clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairvisual. You know, he could I had a reading with him, but then I went to his place every week for about 6
mm.
months. And I could be laying on the floor with my eyes closed, and he'd say, so what are you watching? Because I'm very visual. And I'd
Oh,
explain what I was looking at, the person, the environment, and he'd explain exactly who it was, what it was, where it was.
Wow.
It's like, are you reading my mind? And he goes, oh no, it's way too messy. But that's how gifted he was. And
So wait a second. So you were just laying on the floor with your eyes closed, and he was able to tell you what your mind's eye was seeing?
yes,
Holy smoke. Wow.
yes.
That's incredible.
Because when I close my eyes, I can see a lot of pictures. I can see a lot of movies. But to have someone to be able to tap in and explain who and what and where and how, and it was, yeah, amazing. And he painted this painting for me, and I've still got it today, of me in this life and then several of my past lives, and then brought in the elements of the tiger and the dragon and the wizard with the crystal ball. And he said, you've got the power within you, this crystal ball, because the fingers aren't quite touching. And he said, if you get the crystal ball before you're ready, it will kill you. So when you're ready, then I will have that. But he explained several of my past lives. And also, he's the reason I'm here today, is because he helped me to understand why I created the cancer, why I chose my family, and all the roles that we were playing, and what I'm here to learn from them, and my purpose and the work I'm meant to be doing. So that's what put me on this path of holistic healing. And this is what I've been studying for 35 years, continually learning and growing, learning all these different modalities. And my experiences then help my clients, because I've experienced it, I've overcome it, I've healed it. So it doesn't matter what story people come to me with, or whatever the problem is, well, pretty much I've experienced it. And that's how spirit works anyway. They'll send people to you that are a perfect match.
Wow. Wow. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. That's amazing. Just quickly pausing this. There's so many questions came to mind. We can keep going for another whatever. I have another call in 10 minutes. So, but let's, I would recommend that we call it a day for part one. And then, wow, that's phenomenal. And we definitely need to dive deeper into that, because that's an incredible, fascinating topic. But let's call it a day for today. If someone wants to connect with you, Linda, what's the best way to do so?
They can find me on my website, which is lindabenn.com, or I'm on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, at Linda Joy Benn. That's my full name. And otherwise, just email me at linda@lindabenn.com.
All right, I'll put that in the show note. Listen, Linda, absolute honor, pleasure connecting with you and getting to know you on this podcast, opening your heart and sharing your beautiful, inspiring, empowering, and even goosebump inducing story. I have goosebumps right here. So it's beautiful. I can't wait till part two. And I salute you. You're truly with heart. Keep shining your light. Keep blessing the world, your presence, your impact, your gifts, your smile, with everything. Stay safe, stay awesome. God bless you. And see you soon in part two. And of course, see you tomorrow for day 2 of the 5-day podcast Leads challenge.
Yes.
Take care, my friend.
Thank
Have a
you
wonderful
so much, Payman. Take care.
Very welcome.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Cheers.